Hi there, John Moore here, and I am a shamanic teacher from the great state of Maine in the US. And today I'm going to talk to you about shamanic dream crystals, or shaman's dream stone, or garden quartz. There's lots of names for it. But it is a crystal. It has the word shaman in some of its names, and it purportedly is used by shamans to do different things and have different effects. So I'm going to break down a little bit about what it is, what it does, what it might be used for, and some of the reality. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning up front in that I might be disillusioning some people about the use of this stone. But I'm sorry. Truth is our friend. Shamanic dream crystal. And I don't have one to show you, but I have a very similar stone. Because what it is called Lodolite. And Lodolite is not a mineral. Lodolite is a quartz crystal with a number of inclusions in it, meaning it's got stuff in it that's not quartz. And they come in lots of different types of inclusions. Some of them have like purples and reds, and they're very pretty. And you can buy them online, and people are charging a pretty penny these days. Anyway, this is a quartz crystal point. This is I like this one. It's nice and smooth. It's got lots of stuff inside of it, and there's an inclusion right there. But I don't know if you consider this Lodolite, because usually there's like a ton of inclusions in the Lodolite, almost sometimes almost entirely, quartz crystals, and they sell them frequently as polished quartz balls. Okay, so it's called a shamanic, or some people call it a shamanic dream crystal, or a shaman dreaming crystal, or what have you. I can find no reference whatsoever to these crystals being used by indigenous cultures in any way. So what does that mean? So that means either there's no research, and I will tell you that I'm a research junkie. I read scholarly articles and giant encyclopedias about shamanism all the time. I never stop learning about it. I am the kind of person, I'm a lifelong learner, and besides practicing and teaching shamanism, I feel like it's in my best interest and the best interest of my students to know as much as possible as I can. Part of that is I don't want to be doing cultural appropriation. I have a video about that, and this is not something I want to do, even incidentally. I don't want to steal from other cultures. There is another shamanic mineral crystal, whatever, called a moki ball, also called, and I apologize for up front for the double entendre, shaman balls. And these are iron concretions, and they're in the shape of balls. And I don't know that they're used by shamans either, but perhaps the name came from the fact that they're kind of anomalous. Like when you look at it, like, how did that form? It's a perfect sphere. There aren't rocks around here that are perfect spheres, but we know scientifically how they were formed. So, there's some thought that they're magic and they might have magical properties. So, I did some research. I looked at scholarly articles, could find nothing. I did, an online search of shamanic dream crystals, finds all kinds of sites usually selling crystals and purporting them to have different qualities. So some of them, they're good for balancing energy. Some of them, they're good for facilitating dreaming or visions or communicating with spirits or yada, yada, yada. And all of these are different. So nobody agrees as to what these crystals are used for. I will say this, though. Any shiny surface can be used for scrying, meaning you can use it like a crystal ball. You can look in it and use it for divinatory purposes. And it is not the crystal or the material that it's made out of. It is the person using it, using the tool, the shiny tool, to enter into a state of consciousness that allows them to do divining. And so the properties of the material don't make as much of a difference. That being said, are there, is it possible there are indigenous shamanic cultures that are using these stones for some reason? Absolutely. It just doesn't seem to be documented anywhere. And the extent to which it is being promoted online seems like somebody made it up somewhere, because I can find all these articles, not really articles, blog entries, not scholarly articles, but blog entries where they are, you know, almost using the exact same language, but there's still some major differences in there. So it seems a little bit made up to me. I don't know where the name originated. They're also called garden quartz. And again, Lodolite is not a type of mineral. And so if you go to a mineralogist and say, I want to purchase a Lodolite mineral, that's not a thing. It is a quartz crystal that has inclusions in it, and they are very pretty, and you might want to own one because they're very pretty. And is there some benefit from it? Energetically, maybe, probably. Quartz crystals can hold energy and process energy and all of these things. I just don't like, it kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit to see things being associated with the term shaman or shamanism that aren't necessarily historic. We have enough problems with that as it goes. It doesn't, and not to say that things always have to be historic to be shamanistic. Like, shamans are adaptable. Shamans create new techniques for doing stuff all the time. But this linkage seems to be spurious. It seems to be not a really solid linkage. And when people say shamans use these to, my question is which shamans? What culture? Are we talking core shamanism or some indigenous culture somewhere? And I can find no reference to that. So I'm sorry if that disillusions you. If you use these crystals and they assist you in journeying either through some metaphysical property or placebo effect, then that's fine. And who cares? If you use them for scrying, and I'll tell you up front, I've never owned one. I've seen them, I've held them. I've never owned one, but they would be useful for scrying simply because they are a reflective surface. But then again, you can also use a bowl of water or a mirror or a regular quartz crystal or a black mirror or all kinds of things that can be used for scrying. Because again, scrying isn't less about the material properties of the scrying implement than about the skills of the scryer, the scrying practitioner, the person doing the scrying. So anyway, I've seen shamanic dream crystals for sale all over the place, some of them at absolutely ridiculous prices. So that also makes me think that somebody's tacking the word shaman onto the front to make it seem more mystical and to be able to sell it at a higher price. And I don't really love marketing things that way. It cheapens what I do a little bit and other practitioners, and is a little bit I don't know, not so great. We'll just say that. I'm not going to pass too much judgment other than I don't think it doesn't make me feel really great, and I think it's just a marketing term, to be honest. I will continue to research, and if I come up with anything new, I will post an update to that. I will post an update to this video and a link to it. But so far, no luck. I've done all kinds of searches of scholarly articles and have found nothing so far. I'll go through, I've got some very old, almost a century old books covering shamanism, and some newer ones that are fairly encyclopedic, and I'll see what I can find. That being said, I hope you're happy and healthy. Subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you real soon.